What's up, guys and gals? It's time for the latest chapter review of Kengan Omega. Kengan Omega, chapter 293, entitled The Fiery Five Fights. Alright, let's see what happens. I know a lot of people are naysayers about this. So many people aren't happy with this. But you know what? I just don't care because we are definitely going to show off Oma and stuff like that. And once again, we have already showcased that by exposing principles and a new method of strength and power going forward, this is going to help all these characters improve. And once again, I don't believe guys like Kurushi or Joji are going to be totally washed by Oma in this regard. So, getting into this chapter, I was just excited to see how they were going to handle it. Finally get to see Kurushi fight, maybe see what Joji can pull off and stuff like that. It's like, okay, we get the epithets. The Freak, Kuroshi. I was like, yeah, let's go. And the Poisonous Snake, Joji, I'm like, yes, like, I don't really care about the other guys, to be honest. I don't mind. Toa's fine, just another Julius, but with some skill. Lou is a fan favorite, and I don't know why. I didn't get it. I think it's just because maybe his fight with Nitoku, who's here, was a good fight. It was a really good fight in the Purgatory Tournament. So maybe that's where all the love comes from, I guess. Yeah. I haven't spent enough time with them to friggin' like love him as much as the community does. Same with Nitoku. Nitoku's alright, but, you know, I don't need to see him and stuff like that. So when people are like, oh my god, Oma's gonna destroy all our fan favorite characters, I'm like, who? Okay, like, out of all the characters, like, really, these are your top 5. It's not, I don't know, Agito, Ryan, Shen. I mean, Joji, sure, the bromance there is fantastic, but even people who like Kogan, Ryuki, it's not Gao Lang, Wakatsuki, any of these guys, not Sao Pang. No. These guys. These are your fan favorite. Get out of here. You know, the problem with once again, the community is that you give them something and they complain. They bitch just for the sake of bitching. It's actually kind of funny. It's comical at this point when you read it. Now, the first one up was going to actually be Lou, but it's actually Toa in this chapter. And I'm like, okay, all right, cool. And I want to talk about something because I did read something on Reddit about this chapter. And there's something to be said for it, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So Oma talks to Kurushi first and says, hey, I didn't know you were coming here either. So obviously Kurushi was not on the doctorate, but he's like, Oma, all right, time to stretch my... I'm like, wait a minute. So Kurushi came here not by invite. I'm like, oh, he's not supposed to be here. But that's cool. That's cool to me. I was like, hey, he's like, yeah, well, I mean, have you seen these guys? You're going to need someone to pump the brakes. And Oma's like, huh? He's like, all right, you know. So Lou wants to go up first, as I said, and Toa goes up first. Now, Toa's looking a lot smaller than he was. Like, seriously. It's more proportional. It's more realistic. But Toa, in some of these shots, Toa looks like he's only, like, half a head taller at best, including the hair, than Oma. Toa's supposed to be this giant, like, that part, if you want to complain about that, I 100% complain about that. Toa should be 4 Omas by the look of the size of him in Purgatory and shit, right? Like, this is ridiculous. So, either way, they give us a summary of how he fought Julius and yada. So, Joji's got this whole thing underway. He's like, I hereby declare Tokita Oma's Fiery 5 Fights underway. Please note that all fights will be to the death. And Kuroshi's like, whoa. Don't come making this into some weird event. Joji's just having a great-ass time with this, right? He's like, yep, all fights to the death. Kuroshi's like, whoa. Try not to use, you know, your most dangerous, like, it would kill a man with your thumb techniques. Like, these are sparring matches. Now, I do like what we're doing here to sort of speed this along, but not in a way that Oma's going to necessarily completely dominate everyone. Because I really don't think Oma's going to straight up beat Joji or Kuroshi. The other 3, maybe. But now that we've set the time limit as a bit of a gauntlet of powerful fighters, and we can still say, yes, Oma might be on another level, but he's our main character. Come on, guys. He was going to be this. This is like complaining that Tien and Yamcha and Piccolo aren't a match for Goku anymore. It's like, it doesn't mean that they're terrible. It just means that the power levels have... It's just done this. The gap is too wide now for them to overcome. You can argue that's bad writing, whatever, but it doesn't make the other characters necessarily terrible. It just means that they can't fight the best of the best in the world. But did any of you think that Lou was going to defeat the Connector? Did you think Toa was going to be the guy to go fight the Connector? No, you didn't. So, what are you bitching about? I just don't understand it. And I enjoyed this chapter for the Joji Karushi stuff alone, in all honesty. I love that because it's like Joji's just having a good time. Karushi's like, all right, I'm here unannounced just to be like, all right, yeah. And it sounds like he's like, oh, I wasn't expecting to fight you. And I think Mr. the Freak is going to have a good time. So he says the sparring will be 3 minutes, and we agreed upon ahead of time. We'll sub in after 3 minutes while Tokita keeps on going. So Oma's not going to get a break other than the few seconds where it's like, all right, Toa, you're out, I'm in. You know what I mean? So he's going to run a bit of a gauntlet now, which, all right, fair enough. And these are all pretty worthy opponents to run a gauntlet, right? So, as I said, the whole killing thing has been mentioned, yada, yada, yada. Now, Joji, I love, goes up to Oma. Hey, by the way, Oma, I booked a table at this place called the Utami for the after party. I know it's a bar, but the food's really great too, trust me and stuff. And so I was like, is he? And then once again, now Toa is standing an entire half a person above Karushi. So I was just like, man, the proportions are off here. But Toa's just like, is Joji always like this? He's like, yeah, you get used to him. He's just like this. Like, Joji's just excited for, yeah, we'll all spar, we'll all fight and stuff. And by the way, I'm probably going to call Shen to come hang out with us. Jackie's going to come hang out with us, too. I would not be surprised if Joji was like, yeah, well, of course I invited Jackie. Why wouldn't I invite Jackie to our after party? He wants to hear how you're doing, Oma. How's your training going, you know? And you just ran a gauntlet, and I figure we all drink together, you know what I mean? I will not be surprised. I want to see the after party, because the slice of life stuff, you can complain about Kengan Omega all you want, guys, but suffice it to say, the slice of life stuff has been some great stuff. It literally, not good, great. The Shen and the bromance stuff going on, every time they're drinking and just chilling, and everyone's like, we're all like, these are the most powerful people in the world, you're all going to kill each other one day or something like that, and they're all just chilling like, oh, well, hey, maybe I should order the noodles. Yeah, those sound pretty good. They might be spicy, though. Yeah. Well, we'll have another round of beer. That stuff is just funny to me. I've just been enjoying that stuff, so I really do want to see this after party in a few chapters. I want to see the after party. I want Jackie to already be there. And well, of course I invite him. And maybe even, it'd be hilarious if he dragged Yan along and said, Yan, you have to be good, so we could get some dramatic tension or something like that. But he actually dragged Yan along in, like, street clothes and was just like, yeah, well, he said I couldn't go if he didn't come along, so I dragged him along with me. Sorry if he's a bit of a buzzkill, Joji. No big deal, man, you know. So, anyways, I just think that'd be fun to watch. I don't know. But yeah, so Joji's just interested in the after party. Man after my own heart. And so, anyway, they get down to it and stuff like that. It's like, all right, I want to fight you too. Usual, typical, you know, testosterone-fueled bullshit. Now, the timer starts, and they immediately are like just staring each other down. We got Toa in position, we got Oma in position and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden the tension, he can feel the aura. He goes, I'm in my element, and yet I have the superior physical skills. I could bring him down with brute force alone, or at least I should be able to, but he feels the pressure. And there's the foot, just like with Zaiji, the foot, the pressure that the connector gave. Oma is now exhibiting the same aura, the pressure, which Joji with his eye recognizes, by the way. Like, they're like, get a move on, guys, you only have 3 minutes. And they're talking about it like, yeah, never took him for the cautious type and stuff. And this is where Joji says, I guess my eye's the only one that can tell the difference, unless you're actually facing him like Toa is. So Joji immediately recognizes the presence and the aura, the pressure, the spiritual pressure that Oma's giving off right now. And as Joji pointed out, unless you're actually facing him, you won't feel it. But now, you know, Toa's the only one who can feel it. My eye can see it, but none of these guys can feel it because it's not directed towards them, and it's only because Joji's special sort of idea, right? So it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But I thought it was a really cool shot, a nice callback to the same pressure that Zaiji felt. Toa decides to lunge forward and try to take him down. Of course, he goes for the punch. Oma manages to dodge it swiftly, jump back, dodges the kick, but goes immediately underneath it for Nico-style redirection kata, a move we haven't seen in so long. I even forget the last time it was used. Entanglement, which of course is where he grabs the leg and completely flips the opponent, you know, and boom, lands right on his neck or right on the side of his head and stuff, and he's just moved. So they're all like, oh, wait a minute now. Now, this doesn't take Toa down. Toa gets up, well, that was embarrassing. And he goes, I knew you'd be tough. Now, we see that Oma's immediately already sweating hard. So even though he just tossed a dude that's like 3 times his size and managed to get underneath him and stuff, obviously implying this principles and doing this stuff is incredibly draining on your stamina. Sort of reminds me of Super Saiyan 3, how it drains your ki incredibly fast. Yes, the power out boost and blah, blah, blah. But to maintain that form, the amount of ki you need, it's too draining. So this is Oma trying to train his endurance and his stamina output, in my opinion, because that's the end of the chapter. It's very, very short, unfortunately. It's a short chapter this week, but he's like, you can keep going, come on. But Oma immediately, within a dodge and a dodge into a move, is already sweating. So implying this power, this ability, the principles, is definitely heavily draining on someone who hasn't mastered it and practiced it for a long time. So this is what Oma's doing, running gauntlets to try to boost up his stamina. Obviously, while implying this ability and stuff like that. Now, that's the end of the chapter. I thought it was okay. Nothing really to complain about. You know, if you're going to complain about, oh, I don't want to see Oma dominate these 5 guys, then don't read the chapters. Wait 6 weeks and then come back to the series and see what happened. You know, don't just try your best not to spoil the fun for everyone else. Yes, you can have your own opinion and stuff like that, but if somebody's actually legitimately enjoying, don't reply to their comments and say, how can you enjoy this, it sucks, or whatever. Have your own opinion, but don't directly spoil someone else's fun. That's all I'm asking of all these naysayers. Still reading a series, don't really get it, why you read something you hate, you know. I don't understand. I drop series that I don't like. Just me. But the one thing I want to bring up here at the end of the chapter is that I did read this on Reddit that someone says, okay, so now physical strength means nothing and stuff, blah, 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 right? It's all about techniques and martial arts. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. That's been established since Ashura. It was always about martial arts and technique over strength. Strength was not the answer. Even Julius was defeated not by the sheer strength of Wakatsuki, but Wakatsuki had strength nearly to match Julius, but also had technique, and that made the difference in that awesome fight, right? Now, the thing is that strength is not meaningless here, but redirection kata has always been one of the main staples that has changed the difference between how Oma is able to fight people way heavier than him, way stronger than him, way more physically imposing than him. Redirection kata was always the method to fighting bigger, larger, superior physical opponents. So this is not new. This is not something that, oh, now they can't do anything. That's not the case. If Toa manages to land a clean strike against Oma, Oma's going to be sent flying if it's clean. If he can't get the principles, look at what Seki managed to figure out in 2 hits. So it's not that physical strength does not matter. It's that now we've reached this level. And Oma said it back when he still had the seaweed hair. It's like, you think your strength is all that matters? You know, you're so full of shit. You know that panel where he's like, your strength means nothing compared to technique or martial arts. And we know for a fact, Kuroki Gensai has already said this. There is no such thing as absolute strength. I'm going to show that to you and stuff. It's always been implied that strength is not the answer. And Oma had to fight Ryan in that fight with all his techniques, but he hadn't mastered the Nika. Obviously, round 2 Oma was much weaker than the round 4 Oma, right? Who remembered most of his Nico style and stuff. That fight might have gone a lot different, or Ryan might have implied more Cure Clan techniques, or what have you. But the physical domination works up until about A tier. Once you get into the realm of S tier, that's when it's more. You cannot dominate somebody with physical strength alone. If you're in 1 tier and they're in S, their martial arts and techniques will supersede your strength no matter how powerful you are. That's all this is saying. It's not saying strength is useless, but I'll put it to you another way. If Wakatsuki comes back from his training and or whatever. Or take any of these powerhouses. Take Julius, take Toa, take Seki, take Wakatsuki. Anybody who is all about the physical strength. Give them S tier martial arts. Now, their strength does matter. What all they're trying to say is that strength hits a ceiling. That ceiling is about A tier. And beyond that, you need more. And not just some minimal karate lessons. You need far more to bridge the gap. Your physical strength will be incredible if you have the same level of technique to match it. Oof. Then the moment you hit your opponent, it's over, right? What they're saying is that based on strength alone will only get you so far. There is a ceiling to that. Technique has a higher ceiling. That's all it is. All it's saying. So I don't think this is a problem. I don't think this means Toa is weak. I think Oma has just entered into the realm of near the top of S tier, if not the top of S tier. I mean, depends on where you rank, of course. Jackie and stuff like that. But all this is doing is proving, but he has not mastered this either. So he has to train against the other best of the best because there's nobody else he can train against, really. He can go as he's already trained with Kuroki. Jackie has shown him what he's got to show him, and obviously he wants to come out of the gate and surprise him a little bit. So, Oma's right up there, and that's it. It's okay. I think this works out totally fine from my perspective. I like the chapter, though it was a little too short. Always like to see Kurushi and Joji. No problem from this cat. That's all I'm trying to say. Hope you guys, the very few people who actually can still enjoy Kengan Omega, hope you guys are enjoying it. 293 was fine for me. As I said, have a good one, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, plug, all that fun jazz. And we'll definitely see you guys back here from my perspective for 294 because I'm still liking this. I'm still enjoying Kengan Omega as long as I either read it with a very, very, put my comedy glasses on, or I just don't read it at all. Lo and behold, I seem to really enjoy Kengan Omega a lot better. A lot better when I do that. So, anyways, that's from me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. Sayonara.